Welcome to the CCTE Virtual Student Orientation. My name is Matt Farley and I'm the principal. I'm here to give you some very important information on making sure that you are successful for the 2020-2021 school year. As you know, we're all at home, but we truly wish you were here right now. There are four major players at CCTE that can offer the most support. First and foremost, you have the principal, and then Mr. Archer, the assistant principal. He helps with things such as scheduling, discipline, transportation. Joe Sanchez and Lisa Ayala are counselors that can assist you in your college search, college application, scholarship applications. So feel free to reach out to these four individuals as you look for assistance. I want to share with you the CCTE student steps for success. In this document, I've highlighted those things in yellow that pertain to or are related to virtual instruction while you're at home. I've also highlighted those items in green that relate to face-to-face or hybrid instruction. That means when you return to CCTE for classes. Attendance is probably one of the most important items that can keep a student from gaining credit or losing credit. Avoid being late. In the virtual format, that means logging into Schoology and your online conferences on time. When we return to the hybrid schedule, when you're traveling to CCTE, make sure you're on time. Be aware that we offer transportation from all of the comprehensive high schools. If you decide to drive, make sure you leave early enough so that traffic is not an issue. If you are absent from class, it is the student/parent responsibility to call 236-7900 and email ccte@episd.org in order to share your student name, student ID, home campus, reason for absence, and turn in any official notes as deemed appropriate, such as doctor or dental notes. The second thing you need to do is make sure that you contact your teacher so you can keep up with the work in your class. When we return to campus, the bell schedule is as follows. We start instruction at 8:40 or 12:55, depending on the section you're in. You need to make sure that you're in class on time. The second section are the grades and academics. It is your responsibility as a student to understand the EPISD grading policies and ask your teacher if you need clarification. For those students in dual credit and articulated classes that are taking advantage of the opportunity to earn college credit, you need to look at your program syllabus for details. All other students will follow EPISD EIA local policy, and I've included it at the end of this document. The next section, discipline. Historically, CCTE students have been phenomenal. It is very rare that we have students who are willing to risk their class and their program as they decide not to follow the rules, regulations, and standards of what good student behavior is. I want to remind you that you are preparing to go out into a profession, and it's very important that you learn to act like a professional. Because of the current situation, it's important that all students adhere to local and CDC guidelines when riding buses and attending classes. Students who fail or refuse to adhere to these safety guidelines will be seen by a CCTE administrator. You must wear a mask. You must maintain social distancing when it's appropriate, and you must utilize hand sanitizer or wash your hands frequently. As you come to campus, be prepared. Have the required clothing and materials for your specific program. You need to listen to and follow teachers' instructions. You need to respect the rights and property of other students and the teacher. Respect and cooperate with student teachers, substitute teachers, and other individuals helping in the classroom. Most importantly, do not use profanity, engage in any form of sexual harassment, verbal or physical abuse. All discipline referrals will be sent to the student's home campus, which could include in-school suspension, alternative placement, or expulsion as appropriate. Please remember, do not let your discipline be the reason you lose your CCTE program. When we return to campus, we also have an ambassador program. I challenge you to ask your teacher about what it takes to be an ambassador, to be a representative of your program and CCTE, because we want shining stars to prove how great our students are and how awesome our programs are. Number 5, this is real important. Grades can keep you eligible to compete in all student activities, which means if you're passing everything, you should be eligible to participate in any CCT activity as well as your home campus. For the end of the junior year, grades become real important. If you do not pass your program's classes, you may not be eligible to return to CCTE next year. So keep that in mind. Grades are very important. As principal, I'm not telling you I expect to have straight A's, but I do expect to see great effort and make sure that you pass your classes. Involvement. Get involved with a club or organization. Again, I challenge you to ask your teacher. Why? You get an opportunity to compete. You get an opportunity to complete community service. It's a great opportunity to develop leadership skills, and it's also a great resume plug. It's something you can put on your resume as you apply for colleges or employment in the near future. I spoke to you earlier about our counselors. I want you to start planning for your future. That means that you've got to look at scholarship opportunities. You can email the campus at ccte@episd.org, or you can email those counselors individually. The only thing I want you to do is do not wait. You need to work on it quickly. There are exciting times at CCTE, and when we return to the campus in hybrid instruction, you need to be looking forward to community service opportunities. We also have the National Technical Honor Society. That requires a cumulative GPA of 3.5 or 90 or higher and community service. Once all the NTHS individuals are identified, we will have an induction ceremony. Those dates are to be announced. We will also have CTSO competitions, and those dates will be announced, but are typically held in the spring. At the end of the year, CCTE has an award ceremony, which the teachers get to identify shining stars in their programs. You will hear more about that later as we continue throughout the fall and into the spring. Last but not least, at the end of every year, we try to have a campus end-of-year cookout. I would like to let you know that historically we've served about 2,000 hot dogs and 2,000 hamburgers. And it is after final exams, and it's an opportunity for all students to unwind, enjoy some good food, hang out, and listen to music. So just think, there's a lot of things that can make life exciting at CCTE. I've included some names and emails and phone numbers for you. And so if you have any questions, here are a group of professionals at CCTE that can help you. I please ask that you share those names, numbers, phone numbers, and email addresses with your parents. This is a copy of EIA Local, and this talks about the guidelines for doing your work earning your grades, developing your work skills in your area. There are guidelines for academic dishonesty. What happens when you decide not to turn in your work or you decide to cheat? There are specific guidelines. There are also specific guidelines for redoing work. There are also guidelines for making up work when you are absent. Remember that all of this is your responsibility to work with your teacher. As long as you maintain great communication lines and let them know what's happening in your life, I don't think there'll be an issue getting your work taken care of. As well as the grading guidelines are what happens when you have excessive unexcused tardies, and that can impact your grades, so make sure you understand that. As we start to return to campus, I want to share with you the CCTE plan so that you'll know what is happening. When you return to CCTE, most students are dropped off right here. The only area you can enter into the campus is section C. That will take you to the mechanical shops, the classrooms, back where it says maintenance, back to law enforcement and dual credit. You can't enter through the main building, section A and B. Every student, every parent, and every visitor must enter through A and B. Students going to mechanical shops, classrooms, vet tech, dual credit law enforcement, and dual credit culinary must enter through one of those spots. You may not enter through the back area of the campus. You will be redirected. Your teachers will review with you how you exit the building for the end of period or when there is a fire drill. And this is a snapshot of what it looks like. We also have each classroom and area with your specific entrance and exit areas. Let me make sure that you truly understand this. You may not enter the main building on the second floor unless you go through the first floor. All the other exits are just that. You must exit through the second floor. Here's an example of the first floor, and then, of course, the portables. I hope that you understand what I've explained to you today. If you have any questions, please ask your teacher. If a classroom has a question about something specific, the teacher can collect those questions and email the administrators. Please remember that this is your preparation for your future, and we just want you to be successful. I wish you well. I hope you stay safe. We do have open door policy. You can email us at any time. Thank you. Take care.